This is THV 11 News at 6.
The search for Joynell Brandon continues tonight, 5 months after her family says she went missing near University Avenue in Pine Bluff. And over the past 5 months, we've spoken to family members and law enforcement about the case with little to no new information. That until now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brooke Buckner.
And I'm Faith Woodard. Tonight, Pine Bluff police are calling her case a murder and have arrested the man they believe is responsible. THV 11's Tanya Motorzitsky looks at the timeline and new evidence that investigators say changed the case.
5 months, no body, and now an arrest. Pine Bluff police arrested Tony Thompson Jr. and charged him with murder of a missing woman, Joynell Brandon, as well as abuse of a corpse. Police say Tony did the crime on or about May 13th of this year. According to an affidavit, Brandon was last seen that same day. Records say she left with Thompson in a white box truck to go to All-in-One wholesale warehouse. Thompson told investigators he dropped her off within a block of her home and didn't know where she went after. That white truck he drove did not belong to him. The actual owner agreed to a police search, where court documents say they found a 9mm shell casing under the passenger seat, and that was enough for investigators to tow the car for a search warrant. The warrant says they found a Glock 17 which fits the casings in Thompson's home. Then May 17th, court records say Thompson's mom said her son took her car without permission and thought he was fleeing. Documents say that's when Thompson started a pursuit with Arkansas State Police. He then crashed and was taken into custody, where he still denied any involvement with Brandon's disappearance. The affidavit goes on to say the family started receiving ransom texts for $12,000 for Brandon's release. Court documents say a woman, Italia Thompson, picked up the ransom. Documents go on to say Italia told her sister she admitted to tying Brandon in a bag and putting her in a trunk and driving the vehicle into a lake. Then in July, the state crime lab confirmed Brandon's blood was inside the truck. Now, based on Brandon's blood, the shell casings from the gun, as well as Thompson's DNA being in the same truck, was enough for prosecutors to say he killed her and concealed her body.
All right, well, we did reach out to the Pine Bluff Police Department. They directed all of our questions to the Jefferson County Prosecutor's Office. We reached out to the prosecutor. He said he could not comment any further. Thompson's bond is set to $1 million and his arraignment is January 7th. Meanwhile, Pine Bluff police also say the 79-year-old security guard hurt during last week's robbery at Dillard's has been released from the hospital and is back at work. Investigators say 46-year-old Brandy Davis, seen on your screen, is still wanted, accused of filling a bag with merchandise, then assaulting employees and the guard as they tried to stop her at the exit.
Over in Sherwood, police are sending a reminder on when and where you can use fireworks as we near the new year, and say they won't be as lenient as years past. So remember, all sales and discharging of fireworks within city limits is not allowed. If you're caught, you may face a fine ranging from $100 to $100,000. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Tom Brannon now. Sorry, Tom. We're preparing for the fireworks celebrations. We're going to want to make sure we keep an eye on that weather.
Yeah, we may have had a hot Christmas, but it's gotten cold. So, Tom, what can you tell us?
Well, nice little reminder that it is wintertime. Sometimes you get those temperatures in the 70s, but you get a cold front, they just kind of smack things back the way they should be. We got a beautiful night shaping up outside with a few high-level clouds. It made for a very vibrant sunset tonight over Little Rock. You got the state capitol and the traffic that is traveling here and there across the capital city. Now, we did have a reminder. It was not very subtle that it is indeed winter. Yesterday's high was 74 degrees. 40 was today's high. Yeah, that's a 34-degree temperature swing. And outside, it's 37. We're looking at 34 in Clinton, 33 Mena, 38 down in DeQueen. Our temperatures tonight will drop off into the teens and 20s. The wind chill value outside in the 20s and 30s, so you do want to layer up and bundle up if you're heading outdoors. Temperatures will bottom out here in Little Rock around 24. Outer skirts of the Little Rock metro area will be a little bit colder. I'll have more on what New Year's Eve and New Year's Day look like coming up here in just a few minutes. Faith?
Tom, thank you. Tomorrow marks the first day of early voting for the Democratic primary special election in District 70. That district covers part of North Little Rock and Sherwood and has been vacant since former Representative Carlton Wing resigned more than 2 months ago. Governor Sanders originally planned for Election Day to be June 9th, but after the Democratic Party of Arkansas filed a lawsuit, a judge changed that to March 3rd. And as THV 11's Maya Ellison shows us, the work for the primary and special election is already underway.
A quiet Monday morning at the Pulaski County Election Office. But by tomorrow, it could look more like scenes from last year's election season. Early voting begins for the special Democratic primary election in State Representative District 70. 3 candidates are vying for the seat, vacant for more than 60 days. Beginning tomorrow, registered Democratic voters in North Little Rock and Sherwood will select 2 candidates to advance, with the winner ultimately facing the Republican candidate, Bo Renshaw, in March. So with the special and primary, have you all been faced with a lot of confusion lately?
Yes, there can be some confusion. What's starting tomorrow is a special election, but it's a special primary election for House District 70. Whoever wins this special primary will face the Republican candidate who filed for the same race.
Amanda Dickens, election coordinator for Pulaski County, says preparation has been key. Setup began Monday at both early voting locations in Sherwood and here at the Pulaski County Election Office.
We've been planning for the primary for the last few months, and then of course the special election got called, which, you know, just kind of got thrown into the mix of things.
More than 800 poll workers will go through training, preparing for a busy election season and helping voters at polling locations across the county. But before heading out to vote, Dickens says there are a few important things to remember.
They need to check their registration first and foremost. Make sure that your registration is up to date and current. It has your current address. If you're going down in person to pick up your ballot, just stop by over here and early vote. You know, it'd make it a lot easier.
In Little Rock, Maya Ellison, THV 11 News.
Now here's another look at the 3 candidates, Cordelia Smith Johnson and Alex Holliday, both running as Democrats, and Bo Renshaw running as Republican. Tonight we want to catch you up on who these 3 are before you cast your vote. Starting with Cordelia Smith Johnson, she grew up in Mississippi and served in the Air Force for 8 years. She also has a degree in criminal justice, something she says she got so she could open doors to create real change. After the Air Force, she became a probation officer. Experience she believes helped her learn more about the cracks in the system. Next is Alex Holliday, meanwhile, who lost to Representative Wing by fewer than 300 votes last November. He's a longtime North Little Rock resident and currently works at UAMS. He says he is running because he believes he needs more honesty, and we need more honesty at the state capitol, and has experience working with National Guard members. Again, one of those 2 will face off against Bo Renshaw in March. He graduated from Ouachita Baptist and UCA. He is a business owner, physical therapist, and athletic trainer, and also serves on the North Little Rock and Sherwood Chambers of Commerce. He was appointed to the State Board of Physical Therapy by Governor Sanders.
In case you haven't heard, Thursday marks the beginning of the new year, and with it, several new state laws will take effect. One of those, known as Act 1008, will impact the price you pay at the grocery store. It's also known as the Grocery Tax Relief Act and will remove the 0.125% state tax of food and food ingredients. That impacts things like cut, repackaged, or pasteurized eggs, fish, meat, and poultry. However, there are still taxes on some items that might make their way into your cart. City and county taxes will also still be seen at the register.
Can't speak for what most cities and counties will do, because again, for most of them, it's a big revenue source. But for the state, you know, as good as a job as the governor and the legislature have done getting our budget in a good spot, you know, this was just a natural win for you know, the consumers, the taxpayers, and those that are in political office as well.
That, of course, isn't the only new law that will take effect at the start of the new year. Some of the others include Act 948, which bans state entities from hiring unauthorized aliens. Act 708 changes unemployment benefits and requires a person receiving benefits to report at least 5 work search contacts weekly to the state job board. And Act 631 allows for those using SNAP benefits to meet work requirements by volunteering at any public entity that receives state funding. For a longer list of laws going into effect, you can head to our website, thv11.com. A new federal grant is bringing millions of dollars to Little Rock schools to support student well-being.
UAMS has received more than $3.1 million to launch the Real Deal program, which focuses on communication, conflict resolution, and healthy decision making. It stands for Respect, Empowerment, Awareness, and Life, and will be offered at the district's Accelerated Learning Center and Hamilton Learning Academy, with support from the City of Little Rock and community partners. Leaders say the goal is to give students practical life skills that extend beyond the classroom.
Arkansas Children's is also receiving a gift. This one, a historic $50 million from philanthropist, entrepreneur, and child health advocate B. Thomas Golisano.
It's the largest philanthropic contribution in Arkansas Children's history, which will help fund new programs, recruit healthcare workers, and upgrade facilities. And in honor of the donation, the Little Rock campus will be renamed the Arkansas Children's Golisano Campus.
You know, I know who we can blame these cold temperatures on. Faith flew in today. She brought it with her.
I think so.
I know she's not a cold weather fan. I know most folks aren't, but we did get a taste of winter today. Tomorrow will be about 5 to 7 degrees warmer than today. Nice warm up on the way for midweek. I'll have more coming up next.